and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be going through a review and an installation of the new running boards I got from my Cybertruck. A couple weeks ago I reached out to TesStudio to order the product, as after doing much research, these were the ones that I wanted. I love the design of them. I love the functionality of them. And also the texture that they use on there. So after selecting these, they agreed to give me a discount code that I'll put at the end of my video so that you'll be able to use for a special discount. And again, I'll go through a full review to show you the likes, and if there's any dislikes, I'll share those, and then a full installation so you'll know exactly how to put these on your Cybertruck. So I'll go ahead and unbox it real quick for you. Came very quickly. I would say it only took maybe a week after I ordered it. I ordered them on Amazon, and you can go through Amazon or you can go directly to their website. I'll provide both. But it said that it was going to come in about 2 weeks, and it really came in only about a week. It was really, really cool to see that. You could tell it's really good quality because the box is really, really heavy. It's very well packed. As you can see in here, everything is really tight. So you could tell it probably didn't move around during shipping. I'm going to go ahead and pull all these out real quick, and I'll be back once they're undone because it looks like I'm going to have to cut a bunch of these boxes open. So I'll be right. All right, and we're back. I've taken everything out of the box, at least for the one side. As you can see, each side comes marked as a left or a right, and they're packaged separately, so it was really cool. So this is the empty boxes to the one I took out, which is the left. So you can see all the hardware came in here. The running board came in here. This is all the stuff over here. So obviously you have the hardwood, or excuse me, the running board here. It comes with 5 brackets. So obviously part of the bracket's going to hook to the car, part of the bracket's going to hook to the running board. It comes with everything that you need. So it has all the bolts. It has washers in here, and it also has lock washers as well, the smaller ones in here. So it's going to come with everything that you need. I can tell that these are really good quality bolts. So I was happy with that. I was a little worried about what was going to come with it. Obviously, this is going to take a lot of abuse being in the element, standing on it. So I wanted to make sure it was a good bolt, and it does look to be that way. The other thing, too, is it does come with this tool. So this tool has that end at both sides, so it allows you to work this way and then also this way. I elected to grab my own socket. It's going to make it a lot easier. This is a 1/2 inch, and that's what size these bolts are. So yeah, just a 1/2 inch socket is all you should need on the install. So again, just this came with it. This did not. You would be able to do the whole install and what they provide, it appears, but I wanted to make it just a little bit easier for myself, so I got the 1/2 inch socket. Again, so far, looking at everything, everything's really heavy, really strong. You can tell it's very, very well made. This is the direction it's going to go on. Here in just a second, I'll show you how it goes. Again, it comes with some directions as well. So these directions here give you a step-by-step direction on how to put it together. Really what it comes down to is just those 5 brackets holding it on, and 4 bolts in each of those brackets. It says that there's pre-drilled holes. I have not been under the vehicle yet, but during the install, we'll go over all that. So I'll see you here in a second for the install. All right, and here it is installed. I'm going to show you on the other side, excuse me, how to complete the whole install, but I just finished it up on this side, and it looks awesome. I am super happy with it. It is super sturdy. It fits perfect. It's very, very simple to install. And I'll show you how to do that now. If you want to follow me to the other side, we'll get going with the install portion of it. Oh, excuse me. So I've set the brackets up, how they're going to be installed. I found a few different ways to get the install to go a little bit quicker. What I realized after installing the other side is if I put the first bracket on in the front and the second bracket, or in the last bracket on, I can set the running board on there and just make sure that that it's the right fit. When they give you these brackets, the instructions tell you if you're doing the left side install, which is this side, the left side of the vehicle, to use the right hole on this side, because you're only using one bolt in the factory hole on here, and this is a universal bracket to use on both sides, so they give you 2 holes. But you're either going to have this bolt go in this hole and bolt under there, or this hole, depending on which side. And again, it tells you if you're doing the left side to use the right hole. Well, the right hole, you know, depends on which way you're looking at it. So, you know, I assumed coming from the bottom, if I'm doing the left side, I'm going to use the right hole. And I'm going to go ahead and show you underneath how that works. When I originally did the other side, I did the left hole because I was on the right side, and that was the wrong way when I originally did it. So I had to unbolt a couple to get it right. But because I did just the first and last one, I was able to take it off very quickly and correct it. So we'll go ahead and start that now. One thing I'll show you on the running board, again, they make everything super simple on here to know what's the right and the left side. You can see this is left. The other one was so you know which side goes where. And you can tell which way it goes on because you're going to want the Cybertruck emblem to be facing away from the truck. So when you walk up to the truck, you're looking at that symbol there. So what I did, again, we took the time already to take all these bolts. My wife helped me with this, and we put them all together. So again, the way that they go is you're going to get a lock washer, and you're going to get a regular flat washer, and then the bolt. And you're going to put the lock washer on, and then you're going to do the flat washer. And that's how all of them are going to go together. So we've already taken the time to put those all together, so they're all ready to go. You are going to want to have an extension because there are a couple bolts, like these ones are deep here. So you need a way to get in there to get to it. The wrench that they give you has it at both ends, and it's long enough, and you can use those. To be honest, I don't think that you can torque that well enough to be able to really secure these things on there if you were to use that other tool, but I'm sure it's possible. Again, these aren't special tools, regular ratchet, 1/2-inch driver there. So I'll show you how these things go on. I'll turn a flashlight on under here too, so you can see where I'm bolting these and how I'm doing it. So I'll be back in 1 second, and we'll put on that front. All right, so we're going to put on this front bracket here, and what we're going to do is, again, it's the left side, and you got to think about it like if it says left side right hole, but it's when it's up down, it's when it's under here. So you're actually going to be in this one, because that's actually the right one when you're underneath here. So when you go to do this, it's probably easier to remember left side, left hole. Because again, ultimately, when you're up under here, it needs to be in this other side here. So I'll show you. Here's the hole that we're going to go into. Again, that's just a factory spot it goes. And we're just going to hand tighten it in there. It's probably even easier using your extension to get it going in there. I'm just going to sit in there. Oops. And you're just going to get it hand tight in there. So we're just going to get it started there. It's already hanging in there. And again, we're going to get it hand tight. We want it to be able to move around, and I'll show you why here in a second. Once we get this thing on here, we want it to be able to kind of move around. So that's as tight as I'm going to do it. Once this is on, we're going to move to the back and put this one on. I'll grab the light and bring it back here. I put this one on kind of hand tight already. Again, if you want to look under here. same idea. You know, again, it's if you're looking under here, it's the right-hand side that you're going to put this bolt. We're just going to hand tight it there. Again, we don't want it to be real tight. We want it to be able to move around. So once we have the front and the back on there, what we're going to do is we're going to grab the running board. We're just going to set it on there. And this will stay on there for the rest of the install. So once it goes on there, the reason why you want to put it on there is you want to make sure that you've installed these brackets correctly. When you could see that they're directly over the bracket, what should be happening is this corner should line up perfect in there. And that's what we're trying to do. So once I can realize, yep, it's lined up here, it's lined up there, it's going to be the same in the back. We're going to check the back. This one you can't see over the top, you can tell underneath. That one's lined up perfect. We know that we're good to go. So what I'll do is I'll jump back on the front under here, and we'll grab 2 of these bolts and we'll attach that front one. Again, all we're doing so far is we're just doing everything hand tight. We want everything to be able to adjust. Again, to make sure that these things line up, we've got to be able to move them around and see where they are. So we got that one hand tight. And the more you put these in, the more everything will start lining up. So again, we're just going to hand tighten them. All right. We can now move down to the second bracket. And again, it's going to be the same thing. So you can tell here that here's the bolt, factory bolt area, or not bolt, but threaded area where the bolt's going to go. We're going to make sure it is on that right-hand side. We can use our extension. And again, we're just going to start that one in there. Probably easier if I've on these back ones, maybe even to do it with your hand. I keep creating a shadow for myself with that light. I may need to move it here in a second with the bracket, but I did get it started. So once it's started there, I'll go ahead and hand tighten it. Okay, same thing here. Now I haven't had to raise my vehicle at all to see to do any of this install yet, but as you know, in the Cybertruck they do raise up, so that may be even a little bit easier for you. If you were to raise up the vehicle, right now it's at the lowest setting. I could still work under here pretty well, but just something to keep in mind is if it's a little tight under here, you can raise your vehicle's height up there and it'll probably make it a little bit easier for you. Again, just hand tighten that one. I'm going to hand tighten this back one. And I will be back in 1 second. Again, just doing the same thing. I've got, looks like 2 more of these brackets to go in between. And then I'll show you kind of the final tighten, and we'll be all done. Like I said, these things go on super, super easy. It's just 3 bolts on each bracket, and there's 5 brackets, so it goes on real quick. But I'll be back in 1 second with more. All right, so I've hand installed all the bolts on the bottom. Again, there's 5 brackets and 3 bolts on each one. And again, I wanted to put it in there so that I could really move these things around. I wanted to be able to make sure that I could get them tucked back as far as I could. And I wanted to make sure that these corners, if you wanted to get a close-up here, I wanted to make sure that I could get these corners perfect. And when you leave it loose like that, I could manipulate it exactly how I want it and make it just a perfect fit all the way down. So now that I've established that everything is just exactly where I want it, now I'm going to finish tightening everything up. So if you want to come with me under here again, I'm going to start at the front. And there's going to be 3 bolts on each running board. Guess I didn't put that one in tight enough when I hand did it, because it just came right out. And as it's getting to the top here, I'm going to make sure to give the running board kind of a final tap to make sure that it hasn't worked itself out. And that's it. Head to the next one. And then finally, with the one that goes into the truck, we're going to put that one in as a final. And that's it. So I'm going to do that on the rest of the truck, and I'll be all done. Like I said, super easy install. I would say per running board, well, now that I know what I'm doing on this side, you should be able to do a running board in about 15 minutes. So I'd say about 30 minutes total for the whole project. Again, super happy with it. I'll do a final recap here in a second. I'll be right back after I'm done tightening the rest of these bolts. All right, and they're finally installed. So that's the final product. It is a little bit dark out. I'll add some other pictures tomorrow in the daylight to the end of this video as well, so you can see them. But man, what a difference it makes. It looks so cool on there. Super sturdy. Love the artwork that's on there. One thing I thought was cool too is if you do the puddle lights, it completely misses it, so you can see it still is going out on the ground there. So again, thanks again to TesStudio. I will be adding a link down below as far as an Amazon link that you could go to as well if you'd like to purchase these. Hopefully this video was educational for you and helps you with your install. Stay tuned for some more videos. I have a couple other installs that are going to be real cool, so I hope you check it out. Subscribe, and we'll see you soon. Take care.